And this is Reverend Joslyn Mason, the senior minister at Unity of Kalamazoo, sharing words of inspiration with you today on this Tuesday, July the 13th, in the year 2021. And the word for today is divine order. Divine order. Divine order. And the affirmation is, my life is in divine order. My life is in divine order. And the affirmation is, my life is in divine order. My life is in divine order. My life is in divine order. What a powerful affirmation that is. When I am working toward a goal that gets derailed or postponed, it's natural for me to feel frustrated or disappointed. Even as I process and honor those feelings, I remind myself that divine order is always at work in my life. I remember times when I was upset that my plans and hopes had fallen through, only to realize later that it really was for the best. I carry that awareness with me, and it helps me to accept the disappointments I may face now. Remembering divine order helps me realize my highest good is always on its way. Even if I see no evidence of it yet, I trust this orderly process of manifestation and feel grateful for it. And from the first book of Kings, chapter 2, verse 3, we read, keep the charge of the Lord your God, walking in his ways and keeping his statutes, his commandments, his ordinances, and his testimonies. So I would imagine if you're walking in the way of God and following in the tenets of God and the teachings of God, that you will be following divine order. So my life is in divine order. What a great affirmation. Because everything sometimes seems upside down, topsy-turvy. But when we know that things are falling in divine order, we can step back and say, okay, maybe this setback, maybe this problem, maybe the schedule not working is for my good. When we're working toward a goal, we can really get frustrated. But we want to honor the process. Honor the process that sometimes in our lives things fall through and it was for the best. We make plans in the future and we want to get those reservations and all those things planned out and we hesitate, and sometimes it's for good reason. Divine order helps us to accept disappointments that we might face because we know that there may indeed be a better way. Remembering divine order helps us to realize that our good is always on the way. Even if there's no evidence of it yet, we can trust that this orderly process of manifestation and feel grateful for it. So yesterday's word was believe, to affirm. I choose to believe in the good. To believe, to affirm, to have our thoughts going in the direction of what we want to bring into our lives. Today's word for this Tuesday is divine order, meaning our life is unfolding in divine order. Our desires, when they're not totally selfish, are really desires that come up for our good. And we can be selfish in a way and want the best for ourselves. But we don't want to exclude good just for us and not for others. So we want that selfishness that says, I am worthy of good and so is everyone else. And as I am affirming it for others, I will also affirm good and divine order for myself. So we want to honor any feelings that we get that come up when things don't go right, but we want to acknowledge that God is in charge, that the divine presence, the energy, the allness, the isness, the highest possible good is working to bring about the highest possible good in our life. And so, as we talked about in the past, sometimes grace comes along and the things that we want to happen don't happen. The consequences that come from our actions don't always show up because of God's grace. So we're going to affirm grace and divine order and divine planning all work together in our lives. So we must go with the flow of life. Things will stop, things will change, things will turn. We don't always have control out of what is going to happen in any given time, but we do have control over our thinking, how we see it, how we handle it, how we process it, and how we move forward when change happens in our lives. So my life is in divine order. My life is in divine order. Let that be your affirmation today. And especially when things seem chaotic, take a minute, go apart for a while, and affirm my life is in divine order. Blessings and prosperity and abundance and healing are naturally mine at all times. I let go of the thought of any appearance of lack or limitation and affirm abundance, divine order, and peace, not only for myself, my soul, but for all of those that I pray for today. So my life is in divine order. I realize that my highest good is always on the way. I trust that divine love is moving through and for me to bring about my highest good. So, divine order, my life is in divine order, and I am grateful. And as we affirm today that the light of God surrounds you, the love of God enfolds you, the power of God protects you, and the presence of God watches over you, that's God's divine order at work to bring about the highest and the best for you. I am living in divine order, and that blesses me. And that, as your affirmation, will bless you. I behold the Christ as you. Namaste and peace.